I thought it was pretty neat in here Tuesday night, and that was even different tonight. That was really special. That's as special of a college basketball atmosphere as I've ever been a part of, and I've been a part of some really cool ones, but that rivals them all. It's kind of what I thought when I decided to accept the job to be the coach here, and it's exceeded expectations in terms of the environment and the support. Boy, we won a 2 or 3 possession game tonight, and I'd like to think that the fans and the crowd out there were worth probably a lot more than that. So first off, just thanks to all the people that came out to support and gave us a boost. We needed that boost early. Thought the guys had some jitters early. We did get some good looks offensively early in the game, and they just didn't go. Defensively, I didn't like our energy, but I don't remember the exact moment. We had a timeout maybe around the 12-minute mark, and I thought from then on we guarded our tails off. There was three straight possessions there. We had a bunch of subs at the table late in the first half, and other than those 3 possessions, I thought the last 12 minutes of the first half we were really, really guarding and really defending. We got our hands on balls. We got out and were able to run. We finally were able to convert in transition. I was wondering that early because we got some opportunities and couldn't convert. There was a play with Mason and Jeremiah on a 2-on-1, and I went, that's not what it looks like in practice in a 2-on-1. But we finally started converting. Guys started making simple plays, and it didn't feel like the basket had a lid on it. We got a long way to go as a team. Again, the second half, I thought there were some really good moments. Thought we continued to defend. But listen, we realized that it's not all put together yet. You shouldn't let it become that kind of a game when you get a double-figure lead late in the second half. But I don't think it was for lack of effort. Thought our kids had great effort, great energy. Thought they were about the right things tonight. And I thought they started believing in the way that we're trying to play defense. And the other thing I was really proud of, I've been really disappointed with our rebounding early in the year, whether it was scrimmages or practice or our first game against Evansville. And we really challenged. And Georgia's a really good rebounding team from what we've seen on tape. And I look down and we win the rebounding battle. We have 17 offensive rebounds, and I was really proud of that. I thought John Newman really set a tone for us there tonight. But we got a couple early, and we've been all over him in practice about doing a better job on the offensive board. So proud of that, proud of our guys' effort, and that was really fun tonight. I told them in the locker room, we keep working every day. We keep having the right approach. We're going to have a lot more fun nights here. And I wanted them to enjoy this night. I wanted them to celebrate because the moments in college, we work so hard in college basketball, you should enjoy wins and enjoy having fun. But we wake up tomorrow and we didn't cross a finish line. We got to come in and keep getting better because there is a lot of stuff that happened in that game that's going to be a chance for us to learn and grow. So anyway, excited about the win. Appreciate everybody being here, and I'll take any questions.
Hayden hits a big 3 and then to put you up 7, and then answers a little bit later with the offensive rebound on the free throw. Is that just a guy that's played a ton of college basketball doing his thing?
Yeah, it was a couple things. One, the way they were kind of defending us in the screen and roll. They were in a big drop, and they were trying to go under a lot, and that was kind of like a little chess match all night if you were watching the X and O's of the game. With Hayden, you got the ability to throw back and shoot, and we got to look at the end of the first half trying to do the same thing. That was a called play to try to get him a look. But the real reason we subbed Hayden in at the end, because, guys, it's pretty nice to coach when you got options. And I got a lot of options on this team. And, whether it's Vic, who had some phenomenal moments tonight, Abdul, who I thought looked like himself tonight, moving around and making plays, Odie, who I got to get his minutes up because, boy, he's been terrific here. But I thought Hayden being able to play in kind of a drop scheme defensively, because 10 was really getting downhill there. Kind of felt like possession after possession. So I subbed him in for Vic, and I thought we defended better down the stretch with the way he was playing ball screen coverage and then his protection at the rim. Shoot, he had a really nice block because Braylon Bridges, man, he was terrific tonight, and he gave us all we wanted. Hayden had a really nice block on him late, but we couldn't come up with the ball. That would have been a really big momentum play. But Hayden was really good for us late, and his experience and rim presence, and then obviously his ability to shoot at the 5 position, I thought that mattered down the stretch.
Wes, you mentioned the crowd. During that 17-0 run, pretty understandable. They would get more and more excited as it progressed. But what did you think of the crowd feeding off your team and your team feeding off the crowd and the defense in that big run?
Yeah, well, it's interesting. I think you feel it as a coach. I think you feel it as a player. When I'm out there, I'm not actually like thinking about it, right? If you ask me about a play or a strategic decision, I could tell you everything I was thinking. Well, not necessarily thinking about it, but you feel it. And I think I could feel it. I think our guys can feel it. The only thing I actually thought about during the game was that I better learn all these hand signals because nobody can hear a damn thing I'm saying when I'm talking. I mean, our players, when it's like that, they can't hear anything, so we better get like baseball managers and giving hand signals and stuff. But no, I thought it was just terrific, and you felt the energy, and our guys fed off that energy. And I look forward to more nights in Fifth Third like that.
You kind of reference it, but got a bunch of turnovers in that stretch, and they led to layups. Do you feel like, is that what you want it to look like when you talk about kind of defense setting the tone for your style?
Absolutely, Justin. I thought it was neat tonight. I mean, I thought we were so out of sync at times against Evansville offensively. And we got a long way to go. There were certainly moments like that tonight. There was a couple late possessions where we looked out of sync offensively. But I thought you could see moments where it was coming together in terms of getting out and running, making a simple play and getting a quality shot, and then getting out and running. The defense gets back and we flow from a transition or primary break into our secondary offense and have success with that. And so I don't want to be a guy that calls a ton of plays. And there were moments tonight I didn't have to do that.
That 17-0 run started with the Mikey Saunders fast break. Talk about what energy and momentum that sparked, knowing his speed, his athleticism to get to the rim. How big was that moment?
He was terrific, and you guys will learn this about me. I'll always think about the defensive side first, but I thought he was terrific with his ball pressure. And I thought he checked into the Evansville game, makes a couple plays defending the ball. I thought he checked into this game, and boy, you got to be really careful with the ball when he's defending you. And then you mentioned he got downhill there in our secondary break and our primary break, and made some nice plays. But I think we need to mention too, there were guys down there sealing for him, and that's not the stuff that shows up on a stat sheet. But Jeremiah Davenport's down there sealing to give Mike an angle, right? We had guys standing in the corners with good spacing. So Mike made some terrific plays, but he was able to because his four teammates did their job and were in the right places. And that's one of the things we talked about in the timeout. Hey, when everybody does their job, there's more opportunities to make plays. We saw some more of that organization tonight, and I thought that gave guys the ability to get downhill and do what they do.
You talk a lot about ball pressure and defense and defending. Only 9 fouls tonight. Is not fouling while being able to pressure something you put a heavy emphasis on, or was this an anomaly?
No, I think the way that we want to defend, we're never going to be first in the country in not fouling. I mean, because when you play aggressive, you're going to foul, Chad. And so I've never wanted to look at the stat sheet at the end of the year and we're the team that's passive. We just don't want the undisciplined fouls. So we're going to have some fouls, and I can live with that. But we don't want the ones that are undisciplined, reaching, leaving our feet. Micah there kind of finishing the D at the end. I didn't like the call, but at the same time, it was a little undisciplined. We don't want the undisciplined plays defensively and the undisciplined fouls. Like, how aggressive can we be defensively without losing our discipline? How competitive can we be? How energetic can we be? But we want to be highly disciplined in those regards. And I think we're always going to have some fouls, but we don't want to be the most fouling team in the country, if that's what you're asking either.
Similar to that, you only had 7 turnovers, only 2 in the second half. Was that your expectation coming into the season? Because you didn't have many, and again, 9 in the first game.
Yeah, I mean, I always think when you try to play with pace, and we're trying to play with pace, early in the year, you got to have some patience and let guys go make plays. And you're going to have some higher turnover numbers. But if you just keep working at it every day, you keep practicing, you keep coaching, I think guys adjust. So I think we'll have some games we turn it over a little more than this because I want guys to be aggressive, and we are trying to get out and run. But you look up tonight and 7 turnovers. I am really proud of that, and that's a big improvement from what we've seen over the course of the preseason.
A lot of times a team makes a charge at the end like Georgia did after you're ahead comfortably for so long. They can't hold them off. How proud are you of this team for being able to take that couple swings from Georgia and not back down?
Well, yeah, we're just trying to look like our football team, because, shoot, I've just been such a fan of those guys and Coach Fickle, and the thing that I've been the most impressed with is it doesn't matter what happens to them play the next play. They don't get rattled, and they find a way to win. And, you know, they do that as good as anybody as I've ever seen in college athletics. And so we've talked about that with our guys. And I thought our guys could have gotten rattled, and we haven't been in those situations together. And they handled themselves well and just thought about winning the next possession.
Did you hear the chant? Let's play football?
I did not. I did not. So
Did you?
I'll let the playoff people figure that out.
Did you see a mismatch with David, like maybe going off the dribble? It seemed like there was a lot of him getting downhill and getting to the basket.
We trust him. You know, we trust him in action. He's about as good of a player in on-ball action as I've ever coached and been around. I think David would tell you that he'll be disappointed in some of the plays that he made tonight or some of the, easy shots that he probably missed early. But I'm not. I mean, I trust him. We're going to put him in that situation over and over. I think you guys can see when the game was on the line, put the ball in his hands, and we believe he's going to be able to make plays for our team. He made a couple good ones and maybe some he'd like to have back, but I don't get into all the results. I mean, he shows it to us every day, and our team believes in him.
You got 5 assists tonight from Micah. How big was his playmaking ability for you guys down the stretch in this game?
Yeah, just like we talked about Mike Saunders, I think the first thing I think about is, boy, Micah was really good on the ball. I mean, I thought he really wore their guards down, did a great job on Cook. But to have two guys that are really good with the ball in the open court and make good decisions, I feel lucky that we have 2 point guards like that. It's neat that we can play them, by themselves in the game, one guy, or we can play them together. But I thought Micah was terrific, and his ability to shoot the ball, makes him really dangerous as a point guard as well. Boy, I thought he made that one in the corner in front of our bench. That had been a good shot. It just went down and out, but he's been terrific in practice. And he's had his best practices over the last 2.5 weeks, so it's good to see him see some results in games.
In an up and down game like this, Wes, how much stock do you place in 10 of your 11 players scoring?
I believe in our guys. Again, we're going to play into our bench. I think they all have the ability to have a great game and great year offensively. And so to see, kind of look up and down the stat sheet and see multiple guys contributing, that's what we've thought through the preseason and practice. So it's neat to see that happening in games.
I realize it's kind of a unique situation, but have you ever had anything comparable to coming in with a player like Victor, who you don't know much about, and now he's obviously having a huge impact even early in the season?
Nope. He's terrific. Now, he ran through a passing lane, gambling. We talk about undisciplined plays, and it resulted in a 3. I think number 20, Ballman, gets a wide open look, who's a terrific shooter, and he was 3 for 4 tonight. I mean, he's a freshman now. He does freshman stuff, but he does stuff that you can't teach and you can't coach. And boy, he's going to be special, and he has a great work ethic, and he listens and he learns, and so he's going to just keep getting better and better and better and better. Again, we've talked about him a lot publicly, but we're thrilled about, walking in here and, a guy that didn't even play. The guys on the team didn't know. I mean, they'd never seen him play. So I think he's a terrific young player and is going to have a tremendous career here.
That lob to Odie, something he shows regularly. I mean, he can pass too a little bit.
He threw a lob. He caught one off the rim. I mean, he's really skilled. He's really skilled. He actually shoots the ball well. He hasn't shot it well from the 3-point line the first 2 games, but he can shoot it. He's a really versatile and skilled big, and we're going to keep trying to utilize that versatility. I mean, playing him at the 5, playing him at the 4, and he actually can move and defend pretty well too.
Anything else? All right.
Thanks, guys.
Let's go.
Thanks, Coach.